Viewfinder. Image.
Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing a video and I don't know exactly what I'm going to call this. I thought about this just now and it's basically going to be some memories, some of my favorite memories, like high school memories and then memories from summer program I went to and when I went to a training center a few years ago. So just basically some memories that will always stand out to me from middle school, high school. So I'm just going to get right into this because I don't want this video to be really long and I'm not really going to expand on the stories because I don't want it to be too long, but I'll give you guys a gist of the story. Okay, so I have a lot of memories. So what I'm going to do is pick two from middle school, two from high school, and then I'm going to talk about what happened when I was at, two from summer camp and two from this training center I went to. So I'm going to give at least 10 memories. Okay, because I don't want this video to be really long. So yeah. Okay, so first we're going to talk about middle school. So I was in the 6th grade when one of these things happened in 6th grade, one of these happened in 7th grade. Now, okay, so I'm going to start with the 6th grade memory first. So, one time I was, so I used to, when I would get frustrated, I used to make baby noises, and I would tell my aide that, I'm doing it because I'm disappointed. And every time I would make the noises, I would just, every single time I would do it, I would say, I'm disappointed. Kind of using it as an excuse. So I would make the noises, and one time I had said, I'm doing it because I'm disappointed. And she said to me, I'm going to look up the word disappoint in the dictionary, and I'm going to put it in Braille, the definition. And you can read it to me, and you can tell me if that noise relates to what disappoint means. So she did just that, and I remember I was in my math class, and I was doing my do now, because a lot of the teachers have a do now that you do while they're getting the lesson ready, just so you're not just sitting there bored. And I was working on we called it mini math. It was basically 5 problems a day, and then at the end of the week you get it signed, and you get a grade. But anyway, I was doing my mini math, and I was looking through my papers, and I saw this paper that said from Webster's Dictionary on top. It said from Webster's Dictionary, and then it said disappoint, fail to satisfy. It's oh, okay. So I said to my aide, I said, so I saw you braille the definition to the word disappoint. It means fail to satisfy. And she said, yes, so where does it say makes baby noises? And I said, it doesn't. Okay, so that's one memory. Okay, another, my phone's about to die too, so I don't want to that's another reason I don't want it to be too long. Anyway, okay, so another memory, this happened in the 7th grade. Okay, so I used to have in-class support, and that was where an inclusion teacher, a special ed teacher, was working with the main teacher. So the main teacher one day was absent, and we had a substitute. And the substitute, he was cool. He was really nice. So I remember we were sitting down. We were getting ready to start one of our next assignments, and I was about to get up to go get my textbook. And this guy, the substitute, oh my god, he sneezed really loud, and I started I screamed first. So I was like, ah! And I screamed because it scared me. It caught me off guard. And then I started cracking up. It was hilarious. I was like, oh, I was cracking up, and I would not stop laughing for an hour. To the point where the substitute, because the inclusion teacher, the in-class support teacher, he took some students out of the room, I think, to make up a test or something, and I obviously didn't go with him. So the substitute had to take me out in the hallway to talk to me, try to get me to calm down. And then the other teacher, he came back, and he saw that I still was cracking up about what happened, and he took me out of the room. He told me to pack up my stuff. He's like, grab your cane, pack up your stuff, and we went to sit on the bench and in the lobby of the school, and he was talking to me. He's like, you're going into 8th grade. You can't be acting like this. And the reason, like, it just, like, stands out to me was because, like, he sneezed really loud, and, like, I screamed, and I was cracking up. Not because of, like, what he was saying to me, like, how the teacher was, like, yelling at me and saying that, 8th graders don't act like that, but I was laughing, like, it really stood out to me because of, like, how I acted, like, how I was cracking up. So, yeah, and how, like, I got scared. Okay, so now we're going to move on to high school. So we're going to fast forward to my junior year of high school when I locked my keys in my locker. Okay. So I went on a field trip, and one of the other aides went with me. I don't really want to give any, like, teachers' names or anything. So one of the other aides went with me, and because my aide, she was absent for one, and also she had asthma really bad, so we were going on a trip where there was, like, very strong smells and stuff that she couldn't handle. Okay, so we went on a field trip, and I came back. I put some stuff in my locker. I put my jacket away. All was good, and then at the end of the day, I went to my locker. I couldn't find my keys in my purse, and the aide that was with me, she was helping me, like, all day, and she said, I gave her permission to look in my purse to see if maybe she could find them, and she didn't find them. And so what we did was there was nothing we could do. So she said, well, you probably locked your keys in your locker because maybe, we were in a rush before. Maybe you just weren't thinking, and you just put them in your locker and you didn't realize it. I was like, yeah, that's probably what happened, because I could not find my keys anywhere. So we went to the office, and the thing is, I had to stay after school for something. I forget what for. So my brother, this aide who was with me, she had told my brother, well, it's not my brother, but the secretary at the front desk to page my brother to the front desk. So, my brother gets there, and this aide explains to her that, that I misplaced my keys, and he didn't even say, he just handed me his key. So that way I had a key. But the thing is, luckily it was the middle of April, so it wasn't like it was freezing outside to the point where I, like, absolutely needed a jacket. So that was, like, one good thing about it, and it's always going to stand out to me because I would never do something like that. I mean, even in college, I haven't done it. I almost did once, but then I realized, like, oh shoot, my purse is in my locker, my keys are in there. But in college, I've never, like, actually done it.
One face, zero faces.
So, yeah, but my aide, or this aide that was with me, she called my aide because, they were friends. So she called her, and she
one face, lower face, face near left edge, zero faces.
That I locked my keys in my locker. So, yeah. So that was another story. All right, so then we're going to talk a little bit about junior prom. I'm not really going to go into too much detail because a lot happened. But, okay. So I had a vice principal. One of the vice principals, I talked about this in another video, how it all started with our weekly meetings and stuff. But basically, I was just messing up. I was just misbehaving. And instead of just having me sit in a classroom after school and do homework for 25 minutes, she wanted to kind of, like, figure out what was going on, because she figured, because, I'm not going to learn my lesson just by sitting in a classroom for 20 minutes in detention doing my homework. So she wanted to turn it into, like, a positive experience, to try to, like, try to figure out, like, okay, what's behind these behaviors, why I'm behaving like that, because just telling me, okay, you have detention for twiddling your thumbs and for laughing when somebody got hurt, just like telling me, hey, you have to sit in a classroom after school for half an hour to do your homework, I'm not really learning anything, and all she would just be doing would just be putting out the fire rather than, like, trying to see what's causing it. So she turned it into a positive thing. So we had weekly meetings, and so she was at junior prom, and she was, like, forcing
one face, zero faces,
and my friend to dance. Now,
one face, large face, one face, zero faces.
We weren't dating, but we kind of, like, said we were. So he was at the prom with me. My case manager, she went to the junior prom because she was like,
one face, zero faces.
Because at the school they were making a huge deal because I was like, oh my god, like, what are we gonna do? She's going to the prom. Oh my god, it was bad. Like, they were making a big deal about it, acting like it was the end of the world. And then my caseworker went, and she was like, yeah, it's fine, I'll go. So she was helping us. It's funny because we came out with a hand signal. I don't know if I could show you guys. I'll try. Okay, so you might not be able to hear me for a second because I just have my phone behind my back. So my caseworker and I, we came up with a hand signal. It's hard to hold my phone like this. Okay, so if I needed her, what we did was we were trying to come up with a hand signal because, you know, we figured she didn't want me to yell because that would be like, you know, drawing attention that we wouldn't want. And raising my hand would be kind of obvious. So we came up with a hand signal. And the hand signal we came up with was that basically you would just scratch your back. Just make it look like you were itching yourself. So anybody who saw that hand signal, it just looked like we were itching ourselves. When our
One face,
caseworker,
large face, 0 faces.
she knew what that meant. Like, so that was something that only
One face,
me,
0 faces.
her, and Alex, my friend, understood.
One face, 0 faces.
When she saw that, you know, she
One
said she
face,
would
large,
be
0 faces.
on the lookout for it. So when she saw that, she said she would come over to us and see like what we wanted. Another thing she did with the prom was that, you know, we had fun. We were dancing and stuff. It was a fun night. But she took a picture book. She put together a picture book. So my aide, what she did was she brailled like all the captions to the pictures, and then she put a number on it, the picture, and my caseworker, she put together the book. So with each picture was a description of like what it was. So like one picture was us slow dancing with everybody else. So there was a picture. So that's the picture said, you know, the picture of us slow dancing with everybody, and then the description said me and Alex, or Kristen and Alex, slow dancing with everyone else. So my aide brailled all the descriptions, and then she numbered them, however many pictures there were, and then my caseworker, what she did was she put together, the pictures also had numbers on them, so she
One face,
matched
large,
up
0 faces.
the numbers and the pictures together, if that makes sense. So that was, I still have that somewhere. I don't know exactly where, but I do still have that somewhere. Okay, so that's some memory. Okay, so now we're going to move on to, okay, guys, this video is getting really long and my phone's about to die, so I got to make this quick. I wanted to talk about some memories that stand out to me. Okay, so let's see. Another memory I'm going to talk about.
One face, large face, 0 faces.
The Drew program. Okay, so one of the memories is kind of
One face,
gross.
large face, face near bottom right head, 0 faces.
Kind of gross, so I'm not going to share that one because I don't want to gross anybody out. Let's see. What memories always stand out to me? Okay. Oh my God. I remember, like, it's just, like, so many memories. Like, I remember one time
One face, large face, 0 faces.
I like locking keys, and I would always go into the men's room because, like, when there was, like, one building that was called the Commons where there was, like, the gym, the cafeteria, and the bathrooms weren't labeled, and I would always go in the men's room. And then there was another time when I locked my keys in my room because my roommate always locked the door, and I was in the shower. I come back from the shower and I was naked.
One face, 0 faces.
We're not naked, but I was like wrapped in a towel, and I
One
didn't get
face,
my
large
keys,
face, 0 faces.
and our door was locked, and my roommate wasn't in the room, and yeah, an RA had to go find her in the lounge to get my room key from her, because they do have a master key that they use, but they want you to find your roommate first, and that's kind of stupid, because if you're like undressed, you're wrapped in your towel, I think all bets should be off with that one. I mean, I understand that, like, you know, if your roommate's in the building or in the vicinity, you know, you should find your roommate first and just be like, hey, can I use your key? But I understand that. But if you're, like, undressed, wrapped in your towel, I think that all bets are off. But yeah, so yeah, I locked my key, and then I always made sure after that I had my key with me. Even if I was going to the bathroom for, like, 2 seconds, even if I was going to take a shower, even if I was going, like, downstairs to get something or whatever, I always had my key with me. And then the year after, I actually did not go to, I went there, but I had a different roommate, and they were, like, exact opposites to my roommates. Like, the one I had my first roommate that I had the first year in 2008, like, she was, like, she didn't really talk to me. She had the door locked all the time. Like, she always locked the door. When I went again in 2009, my roommate, like, she was like the exact opposite. She never ever locked the door. I remember that was when things happened with this guy I was dating. I talked about that in another video, so I'm not going to talk about it here because if you guys watched my relationship with my ex video, that you'll find that. Okay. Another memory, and this is going to be it because this video is getting long. Okay. So I was at a training center a couple of years ago, and 2 rooms share a bathroom. So, for example, say you have room 5 and 7, because all the even numbers are on one side of the hallway, and the odd numbers are on the other side of the hallway. So, the ladies have the odd numbers, the guys have the even number rooms. That's how it works. Okay, so say 5 and 7, for example, share a bathroom. So, you go in the bathroom, and you can literally walk in the bathroom and go through the bathroom to get into the next room. So you have both doors. One door is for, let's say, room 5, and the other door is for room 7, for example. So when I was in there and I had a roommate, what I usually would do is I would lock both doors. And I told my roommate, I said, because I had a bathroom mate, like the first bathroom mate I had, because she was new, I told her, if you lock that side, make sure you don't remember to unlock it, because otherwise I can't get in the bathroom, because it's very easy to forget. Like, you go in there, you go in your room, you unlock your side of the bathroom, and then you forget to unlock the other side. Because, I used to lock both sides, so I'd have privacy. So I go in the cafeteria, and my bathroom mate, because you call it a bathroom mate since 2 rooms share a bathroom. So my bathroom mate, she comes up to me, and she says, "My bathroom door's locked. I can't get in." And I was, like, cracking up. Like, the whole day I was hyper. I was cracking up. Like, it's funny. Well, not funny, because like, I didn't want somebody doing it to me. Like, I was worried that somebody would do it to me. And then I went and did it to someone else. I didn't do it on purpose. Like, I forgot. I made a mistake. Because I went upstairs to brush my teeth. And I guess, like, I didn't need to lock it to brush my teeth. But I just did. And I was, like, cracking up the whole day. Let's see. Another time. I'll give you one. Okay, so in every room, they have a call button to page the nurse if something, but for an emergency, like an emergency. So sometimes, like, they have a cord that you pull on, like you pull on the cord and it does it. And then some of them have, like, just a little box on the wall, and then there's a button you press. So I was sitting in a chair, and we have, like, these group meetings we used to have, and it was in the TV room, and there was a chair that was literally, like, right in front of the call button. So I accidentally hit my head on it. I didn't get hurt, obviously, but I hit my head on it, and I pressed the call button. And I was like, and the nurse comes out, like, "Oh, is everything okay?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, it was an accident." And then it's funny because somebody actually thought that I pressed it for a second.
VORAIL, Brother West just asked a question about National Day of Prayer.
Because somebody thought I pressed it for a second time. Because, okay, so I had this roommate, and, like, okay, I'm not going to go into detail about her, but let's just say she's mentally challenged. And she was, like, 25 at the time, and she hit the nurse's call button because she was in the bathroom and there was no toilet paper. Like, seriously, like, I would be so embarrassed. Okay, so we were, like, all sitting in the TV room, and we heard the nurse's call button going off, and people were trying to tell me how to stop it. They were like, "Oh, just press the button to turn it off." And I pressed it, and it didn't do anything, like, because it was coming through, like, that speaker as well, so it didn't do anything. And the nurse comes up, and we're like, we don't know where it's coming from. And she's like, "It's coming from a room." And, she couldn't talk because she had to get to, whoever it was. You had the nurse all, like, panicked and freaking out. I'm like, so, yeah, it was my roommate. I'm like, really? So then people were saying that seat's not a good seat for me, but I didn't press the call button. It was just like they thought I did because, like, I did it once before. Okay, so, yeah. So basically, that was it for some memories. I don't know what I'm going to title this video yet, but I'll figure it out, and you guys will see when it goes up. But anyway, I'm going to go now because my phone's below 20%, and I need to plug it in. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you guys for watching, and be sure to comment, like, subscribe, and all that, and I will see you guys in my next video. Alright, bye guys.